Warning! This program may disappoint you. Any relationship to anything actually amusing, comedic, or otherwise worth your time is purely coincidental. Also, you can't steal our ideas. No backsies, I'll tell teacher if you do, and no, you don't have a laserproof shield. With legal formalities out of the way, I'm authorized to announce that this is the story of the members of the League of Theories, a group so devoted to conspiracy theories and nonsensical ideas that they fail to live in the real world, and this is their story. We even have a Facebook page. We should warn you now, you may find this immediately following program disturbing to the extreme, and perhaps even traumatizing. You may have found the immediately preceding program much the same. Who are we to apply prejudged morals to your life?
I certainly feel shocked just at having read and co-written the script, so instead I chose to ignore it. You may saint me later.
Don't you usually have to be dead before you're a saint?
Hence why I said later.
But I was so looking forward to it.
With what I have saved them from, they'll make an exception.
If they don't, I'll happily help you fulfill the job criteria.
You're a true friend. What would I do without you?
Well, that seems like a nice, almost coincidental link to some contrived story. It was one glorious summer's morning in England when Tristan discovered something truly mildly saddening.
I have searched the house to find that AJ has vanished completely. His tea was untouched and his bed was unslept in. What madness could have possessed him to venture out into the early morning pouring rain?
For those of you lacking certain perceptive skills, this is what we refer to as a plot device, an excuse to make something happen, so we don't waste your time. As we already are wasting your time, this is just a way of making it less obvious.
However, this does not diminish the seriousness of the situation. I must pursue him. You set the house on fire while I go and put my tiger skin suit on.
Okay. What and why?
It's very simple. I wish to set off in hot pursuit.
That's terrible.
Shut up and start a fire going.
One short insurance fraud later, Tristan had picked up the trail left by AJ.
It is incredibly hard to carry this.
Tristan promptly dropped the trail left by AJ, got hopelessly lost, and ended up back at the cindered remains of the house, whereupon he did the only thing a man, so desperate, so in need of answers, could.
Hello!
That's right, he called back a minor character in order to move the plot along.
Who are you calling a minor character?
Please don't pretend you're vital to the plot. Most of you are minor characters.
I object.
Really? Okay, you can be case in point. When did you last appear?
Don't lie, we can see the cobwebs on you.
I'm very sure a spider is waiting for me to rot a bit more so it can digest me.
Case closed. So, shut up, take this lump of pot chewed arsenic, and tell me what to do.
I'm afraid I must ask for a bit more than that. I've gone up in the world. I do commissions too. Did you know that the editor of the Times magazine has personally requested me?
That's in the paper? Wow, I'm surprised. What did he want?
He wants me to go and stand in the offices of the Daily Mail instead. Apparently the smell puts off the competition.
Very well, I have here in my hand an oil painting of a genuine counterfeited pound coin.
Do I look like an idiot?
I'm going to go with maybe.
I demand an oil painting of a genuine counterfeit £2 coin.
You are clearly a man of iron will and lackluster brain.
And pogo stick legs.
Very well, you have a deal. I shall have to contact my art accountant as soon as possible.
I shall cast the sacred burnt pigeon bones.
Will they tell you where AJ is in a mystical vision of the future in glorious technicolor?
No, just throwing out my dinner from last night. Basic hygiene. No, I shall attempt to contact a higher power to find your missing AJ.
God? Google Plus? All hail Google Plus!
But no, not quite. I shall find my message from the greatest database unknown to man, the Hobo Network.
By any chance is that stolen from Sherlock Holmes' Homeless Network?
Only slightly, but with one vital difference. Here, Hobo is an acronym.
What does it stand for?
It stands for dignity, and brotherhood, and unity, and other Assassin's Creed games.
But the actual acronym is...
Homeless, Oracle, Brotherhood, Of course!
Isn't that Hobart?
Look, I was making it up to sound clever and avoid a lawsuit. Do you really want to poke holes in this lifeboat?
Very well, make it so.
Hand me that conch shell!
I don't see a conch shell.
That's because it looks a lot like a traffic cone.
Then why not call it a traffic cone?
Because what self-respecting oracle doesn't have a conch shell?
When did you gain self-respect?
Since the police gave me a final warning, and they meant it this time.
Very well, take your cone.
Thank you.
So, what now?
Wait! It's kind of like the Twilight Bark from 101 Dalmatians.
You have no idea how long or if this will work, do you?
Signal's a bit iffy round here. Good day! I request information regarding AJ! Who? The guy who looks exactly like my voice.
Oh, him! He went that way.
Thank you! There you go. Understand?
No.
You must head to the most dangerous place for a man such as yourself to go.
And with that, Tristan girdled himself in preparation for heading to the south.
Okay, so it's no longer a snicket. Don't get into any bread roll debates. Never say Shank's pony when walking somewhere. Scratch that. Just don't greet anybody any way at all. Do not say bath, glass, grass, brass. And definitely do not say stick it up your...
I think you're ready.
Wait! Before you leave, one more prophecy have I for you. When your fate seems darkest, when all seems lost, when the clock strikes 13 and whereupon the orange strikes you round the chops, look to the hills, for there lies your salvation.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, sounds like some nonsense to set up a plot if we get a second series.
Now you must go forth and brave the perils of the south.
You know you're coming with.
What? No way.
Well, how am I meant to search for AJ without you to narrate my searching for AJ? It is your native land, after all.
A cutaway. Tristan returns an amount of time later type of thing.
I would be sorely disappointed by that.
I quite agree.
Well, I say that I'm sorely disappointed by the whole series so far.
I quite agree.
Well, you would disagree. So it was that an unwilling narrator and Tristan set off to the fantastic British railway system. They enjoyed the fantastic replacement buses too, and the bracing walk from the broken down shell of the bus as well. It wasn't hard after crossing the north border, scaling down the mighty border wall to keep the hills out.
I feel ill. I think it's the terrain.
But there's no hills or curves or anything.
Exactly, it's so strange, but despite the obvious lack of visual obstacles, I can't see him anywhere, or anyone else. How is this possible? Where can he be?
What do you mean? The curvature of the earth means you can't see forever.
Curvature of the earth? What is this nonsense? Everyone knows the world ends at Leeds.
Oh, this is going to lead to a long and hard conversation later, isn't it?
You say that about everything. Anyone would think you had something on your mind, or that I just make a lot of social faux pas.
Good grief. Suddenly, out of nowhere, as if called into existence by an irritated narrator, in order to avoid an awkward conversation and questions, and hurry the plot along in general, popped 3 armchairs, a large teapot filled to the brim with lukewarm tea in it, and several smaller escritoires for drinking out of.
Yep, that's AJ. I'd recognise those teeth anywhere.
I hadn't described his teeth yet, or any part of him.
That's why I jumped in there first. I could tell by those muscular teeth and folded paper arms that the furthest figure was AJ, but I could not identify the other 2 arguably human figures in the chairs.
Southerners. AJ, what have you become?
Well, at a guess, a minor character in this episode.
Behave yourself. Stick to the script.
Sorry, I suppose I should introduce you. Tristan, narrator? These are my parents.
What? You're a Southerner too?
It would appear so. All my life I've hidden it, but now it's out in the open.
Except we're not your real parents.
We would like to thank our guest writer for this episode, M. Night Shyamalan.
It's true, as awfully cliched as it sounds, you are adopted. You are not from the South.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
We did, for the past 10 years. You just turned up at our home demanding tea.
But if I'm not your son, then who am I?
You came to us from the wild lands beyond the wall. You are one of them.
So I'm a northerner?
This explains a lot, actually. Like, why you have Yorkshire puddings with everything.
And why he's so unpleasant to strangers.
And people I know.
And why his idea of a conversation is just, alright.
And why I've never been to the South.
I thought you said he was adopted. How can you not have ever been to the South if that were the case?
Skype.
Well, you can just hang up on him.
We only found that out 8 years in.
Wouldn't Skype parroting cause deep emotional scars?
Yes, but we got over it with the help of therapy.
Dad, do you have anything to say on this? You've been very silent this whole time.
Don't bother him. He's been in a shock-induced trauma state since he saw you arrive.
That's a tad brutal. And equally plausible.
That's not the truth, is it?
No, we could have fit it in the budget for another voice in this episode.
Makes sense.
Wait, if we've run out of budget for this episode, how do we get home? Come to that. Wait, let me just... Yeah. We've run out of budget for the entire series. We can't broadcast from the south. People might start thinking we're the BBC.
Well, how did you get down here in the first place? I can't narrate us back up without an excuse to carry the logic.
Since when has this show had logic?
Back in the box, you.
No, don't put me in the box.
Well, that doesn't help. I have a wallet full of money. How do I get me back to the north?
If you have all that money, why don't you just get a train ticket up?
For one thing, there's no amount of money you can fit in a wallet that will be enough to buy a train ticket. For another, do you really think the guards would let anyone with money leave the south? We'll never get past the wall if we look like we have money.
Ah, suddenly, I think I can help. Narrate me a traffic cone.
Suddenly, a traffic cone.
Thank you.
Some cynical listeners may question the possibility of just talking a traffic cone into being. Some of you may even be writing letters of complaint at this very moment, stamps still moist with the spittle to send in our direction. To you people, we welcome your letters.
How else do you think we come up with our gags?
Anyway, I think I know how to help. Hello!
Who calls? Identify thyself.
I am Tristan of the League of Theories.
Oh, it's him. What do we do? Right. Spare any change?
I seek the aid of Steve, the Oracle, known by some as Merlin of the Cardboard Trousers.
Oh, well, the Oracle is currently out of the office and unable to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Beep.
Tell him I have 10 euros for him.
Hello!
How did you get here so quickly without the power of narration?
A hobo can get thrown out of anywhere.
Please, almighty Oracle, teach us your ways, get us thrown out of the south and back home.
There is only one way to get thrown out of the south. You must become poor. No one may cross the wall with money in their pocket. But I have a plan.
Please, almighty Oracle.
Have you ever heard of the producers? It's an idea in a similar vein. We must come up with a business idea so catastrophic that only an idiot would invest in it. We are guaranteed to become bankrupt. And this idea is so brilliant that only an idiot would fund it willingly.
And that was how Tristan, AJ, and the Oracle set up the first payday loan company. With the Dragon Investment, Wizard Wonga, fast cash with a magical flash. The poor souls soon became disgustingly rich, even by Southerners' standards, and were forced into solitary confinement on the luxury resort in Barbados, given custody of a Swiss bank, and given peerages which therefore obligated them to never return to the drizzle and misery of the north, or even think about anyone else ever again. Will they ever break free of this endless spiral of wealth? Perhaps we may never know. It all depends if they make it back for a second series.
The League of Theories was conceived, written and produced by Alex Jones and Nathan Thomas, featuring the voices of Stephen Holland as the narrator, Nathan Thomas as Tristan, Alex Jones as AJ, and guest starring Isabel Crossley as AJ's mother. Sound effects were provided from freesound.org, and music was composed for the series by Eric Fabrizi.